Leave now, go home, American comrades and correspondents of the State Department. Go home, everybody. Don't come back. Don't ever come back. Your time in history is ending. It has already ended. The era of deceit and dishonor is coming to a close, and a new dawn of truth and integrity is upon us. And you, Jews from Israel, and you, Jews from America, will no longer govern the nations of this world. God bless even those who slander us, who attack us, who try to inflict upon us death, civil death, political death through vile insinuation and defamation. This is exactly what we are dealing with in our current situation, and we must remain vigilant and resilient against such malicious acts. Greetings to my dear Psycho fans and friends in the American State Department. Greetings to my Psycho fans at the embassy of the state located in Palestine. Ambassador Livna probably indeed believes that such reprimands will undoubtedly and significantly influence the overall shape of the Polish political scene and the course of Polish politics and future. It is absolutely worth mentioning that this no longer impresses any of us, normal, honest, and kind-hearted Polish people. But there is truly one more important and valuable aspect. One more important aspect. An attempt to monopolize the memory of Auschwitz-Birkenau in any way or even. This is undoubtedly perhaps the most significantly important and maybe the fundamental main issue worth addressing here. Ambassador Livna, with his personally contemptuous and disdainful post towards me, presents himself as the supposed host and guardian of this historical memory, the host of Auschwitz and its surrounding areas. Because he is irritated and annoyed by the prominent and conspicuous display of my election billboard in those areas and the surrounding regions, so. Not to the individual in question, not to the author himself, but to the audience that might be interested in this, perhaps even more. This message is my personal memory. It is the collective memory of Poles. This is our sacred place of remembrance, and we are the proud hosts here, preserving our history and heritage. We strongly believe that we do not agree with the appropriation of Auschwitz, the Nazi German concentration camp, the Auschwitz-Birkenau extermination camp, by any group, including Jews, whether they are Soviets or Zionists, and we firmly stand against this. We do not agree with this unjust and inappropriate act. Personally, ladies and gentlemen, I feel a very close and direct connection to this memory. Indeed, my very close cousin is truly on the list of victims of this camp. He is among the victims of the tragic events and heroic resistance during the martyrdom of the Polish nation, one of the central sites of which was this camp where victims suffered immensely, established by the Germans, by the German National Socialists. First and foremost, it was precisely to destroy the Polish intelligentsia, the Polish scientific and political elites, the clergy, as well as the patriotic youth, of which my cousin Stawisky is a representative on these tragic pages of Polish history. So indeed stay away, stay far away, officers of various ideological fronts attacking Poland, fighting against Polish patriotism. Keep your distance from this because I don't know in what service. In what exact service of his ancestors Ambassador Livna served, but as a Soviet-born citizen, I do not exclude that he had more in common with those services that, in alliance with the German Nazis, the National Socialists, conquered Poland back in 1939 and destroyed much of the Polish intelligentsia both at Auschwitz and Katyn. And they did this, as is known, for 2 years in agreement together and in coordination. So I am indeed extremely curious about what cards from his own family's history Mr. Livna could lay out, who so brazenly usurps the right of Kaduk, to on one hand manage historical memory, Polish historical memory, the historical memory of Poles, and on the other hand, confidently asserts with conviction his supposed right to moderate and manage our Polish political scene as well. Both of them go home. Go home. And the representatives from the Israeli diplomatic mission, and also, in addition to that, representatives from the United States diplomatic mission, you who write memos that later become essentially one big reprimand against countries and nations of this world, we Poles, Polish politicians, do not indeed claim to manage the entire galaxy. However, we claim the right to manage our own fate, to care for the well-being of our nation, its sovereignty, independence, territorial integrity, and ideological integrity, and continued prosperity. For this, we lay our claims, and therefore, with unshaken calm and unwavering determination, we will continue to dismiss such scoundrels and slanderers as those mentioned today. Your time in history is ending. It has already ended. The era of deceit and dishonor is coming to a close, and a new dawn of truth and integrity is upon us. And you, Jews from Israel, and you, Jews from America, will no longer govern the nations of this world. You will not dictate to nations around the globe, around the world, and in every corner of the earth whom they should choose as their highest representatives, and how they should honor and cherish the memory of their ancestors, their martyrdom, and their sacrifices. Livna, go home, comrades and correspondents of the State Department. Go home, everybody. Don't come back. Don't ever come back. Thank you very much.